People have been dying from drug overdoses in our country at record levels. 2020 and 2021 saw some of the highest numbers of fatal overdoses ever recorded.
We talk often about the challenges and barriers to recovery for those with substance use disorder, but what's working well to keep people in our hometowns alive and get them into recovery?
WDBJ7's Leanna Scacchetti has been looking into the response by experts and also community advocates. She joins us now for a closer look. Leanna, what did you find as part of the process when it comes to learning what's working well and what's not?
Yeah, well, we're seeing efforts that are keeping people alive here in Roanoke and across the state, and clinical services also that increase the chances people will be connected to recovery. So we're going to spend this week examining some of those responses and their efficacy, but we start tonight with some numbers. To better understand how we're working to turn this crisis around, I thought it best we begin with where we are right now. The number of people dying in Virginia from fatal overdoses saw a sharp increase at the outset of the pandemic, and 2021 recorded a 15% increase in fatalities compared with 2020. So, how did we fare in 2022? To learn more, we consulted Virginia's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, which releases quarterly reports on the Commonwealth's fatal overdoses.
So I analyze toxicology results as well as certified cause of death to generate the report that you see.
Rosie Hobrin is the statewide forensic epidemiologist within the office who compiles the reports. So far, she only has data from the first 3 quarters of 2022, but it gives us pause for hope.
It does appear that we may actually have a slight decrease from 2021.
The most recent report shows us a slight drop in each of the first 3 quarters of the year compared with 2021. But Hobrin says Virginia's overdose deaths are still extremely high. This year's projected fatal overdoses are 3 times the number of deaths logged for an entire year a decade ago. Today, illicit fentanyl is blamed for the vast majority of deaths.
Over 3/4 of deaths or overdose deaths are attributed to fentanyl. Central Virginia actually has the highest rate in the state.
Hobrin says the most notable trend in the western part of Virginia is the rate of deaths attributed to methamphetamine-involved overdoses.
In 2021, almost 3 times higher than the state average of methamphetamine-involved overdose deaths. And that's, not what we really see in other parts of the state.
Most fatal overdoses are seen in Virginians aged 25 to 44, and for a long time they were mostly white males. But that changed in 2019.
Black males actually surpassed that and became the highest rate of drug overdose in Virginia, and it's just soared even higher. 2020, 2021, Black males continue to kind of grow at a larger magnitude than any other group.
Hobrin says the data shows illicit drug distributors are making fentanyl-laced pills that look indistinguishable from pharmaceutically made drugs.
The problem with that, too, is there's not really a homogeneous mixture of the drugs. So you can have a batch of pills, and one pill can have a lethal dose, and another pill from the same batch have almost nothing. So it's really concerning for people that are, getting pills off the streets.
Meanwhile, toxicologists at the state are working to keep up with new, previously unseen substances, sometimes leaning on private labs to help them determine which drugs took a life. Now, by April, we should have a more comprehensive look at the year as a whole and perhaps, hopefully, see more of that downward trend. Tomorrow, we'll be looking at the work harm reductionists are doing in our community to reverse overdoses and keep people alive long enough to get them into recovery.
Such a huge problem in this community and everywhere, really. Very interesting statistics tonight. All right.